Hello and good evening. Today it is Monday, September 20th, 2021, and for this video today, I will be discussing the Arizona Coyotes because starting in the 2021-22 NHL season, the Coyotes will be going back to their original uniforms full-time starting next season. This will be their home jersey moving forward. Not just after this 25th anniversary season. They will be putting the brick red trim around the numbers and the letters and the player lettering on the player names on the back of the jersey again. They will be replacing the silver outlines they brought in only for the 25th anniversary season last season. And they will be bringing the original white version of this back starting next season. And I want to give a special thanks to my subscriber, Nick from Windy City Hockey, for the tip. But as you can see here, the Arizona Coyotes are bringing back their original white jersey design, and the Coyotes will be going back to the Kachina uniforms full-time starting next season. It even includes the slightly modernized shoulder patch that no longer has the mini Phoenix subscript above the Coyotes word mark here. And obviously, as you can see, it has the Adidas Adizero collar, and the Coyotes are going full retro starting this coming season. Now, in my opinion, this was a move that did not surprise me. When the Coyotes brought this design back as their full-time third jersey in the 2018-19 season, after wearing it a few times as a throwback for a couple of seasons at the end of the Reebok era, with the popularity it had when it was brought back at the end of the Reebok era, they brought this design back in the Adidas Adizero jersey cut to a very good reception. It's a very popular design, and I know a lot of people were really happy to be able to go out and buy this design in an Adidas Adizero jersey, or to buy an Adidas replica, But after they brought this back as their full-time third jersey starting in the 2018-19 season, after the 2019-20 season was sadly brought to a screeching halt because of the ongoing pandemic, when they came back and restarted the 2019-20 season with a special qualifying round, the Coyotes elected to wear this uniform instead of their Sedona Red home jersey as their designated home uniform against the Nashville Predators. And once they did that, I was starting to honestly find that, once they decided to do that, I figured that the eventual switch to these full-time again was not a matter of if, it was only a matter of when. So after the qualifying round of the 2019-20 postseason, where the Coyotes made this their full-time home uniform, for the 2019-20 season, the 2020-21 season, the Coyotes brought this design back with a special tweak for the 25th anniversary, which was replacing the brick red trim around the numbers, the captaincy patches, and the letters of the players' names on the back of the jersey. They brought this design back without the brick red trim on those and replaced that brick red trim with silver trim. As you can kind of see here, it's basically, they just look like the sand color without the brick red, but there is silver outlines here that they used last season to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the franchise since it relocated from Winnipeg. So last season, they made this their full-time home jersey. They wore the white flip of their Sedona Red jersey as their designated away jersey. And for the reverse retro jersey program across the NHL, the Coyotes decided to take their first third jersey in franchise history and replace the green with purple. And they wore this more than they wore their Sedona Red newly demoted third jersey last season, where I believe they only wore the Sedona Red uniform for 2 games, and they were both away games. But I must say, for a crazy design straight out of the late 1990s, replacing the dark green with purple here, in my opinion, looks great. I love the Phoenix Suns color scheme of purple, black, and orange. And in my opinion, this reverse retro design took a rather mediocre third jersey that was a typical product of late 1990s, mid to late 1990s craziness, and it actually made this design rather cool. I loved seeing the Coyotes wearing purple. I'm not going to lie. This design actually, in my opinion, for reverse retro, looked pretty good in my opinion. I love the color. So after they brought this design out as a reverse retro, made this their full-time home jersey, only wore their Sedona red uniform for a couple of games last season, not even for home games, but for 2 away games, I believe, and only wearing the Sedona red jersey's white counterpart because they had to have a designated away uniform. I was figuring this past season would be the end of the Sedona red and its white counterpart jerseys for the Coyotes that they've been wearing since the 2015-16 season. So last year in 2020, I thought the Flames going retro was the worst kept jersey change secret in the NHL. A year later, I have felt this way about the Arizona Coyotes. Seeing them use this logo as their backdrop for player interviews, talking about it being what they think is the best logo in hockey, the Picasso Coyote, as you see here, using this Retro Coyotes logo on their social media accounts, and recently putting it behind a white backdrop. I figured if those weren't signs that the Coyotes weren't going full-time retro, I don't know what is. I've even heard some accounts that maybe the Coyotes might not be going full-time retro after all. I was even thinking with how long the announcement took. I was even starting to think with the recent news that the Coyotes would be playing their final year in their arena in Glendale, Arizona this coming season. I was wondering maybe they're not going to go full-time retro because maybe they might actually be relocating out of Arizona entirely. But, yeah, this is actually going to happen. And the Coyotes are going full-time retro starting in the 21-22 season. And to share my thoughts on this, I think that this will be an improvement. Truth is, when the Coyotes first switched to their now newly retired home and away jerseys from the 2015-16 season, at first I was disappointed with those uniforms. I thought that the designs before those from the Reebok Edge switchover in the 07-08 season were better. But after I saw those uniforms, I thought they were actually an upgrade over those ones that they wore when they first switched to the Reebok Edge template in the 07-08 season. And I thought that the black was a really good addition. The only thing I hated was that the designs that they had for their home and away jerseys kind of seemed half-finished to me because I didn't like the lack of way striping. And I was actually thinking that they could have even added Kachina striping to those. And I'm going to actually pull those designs up real quick because I want to talk about them a little bit. As you can see here, this design that they've had, obviously they tweaked it a bit with the switch from Reebok to Adidas, but I've always felt that this design was actually all right, even though I'm not going to totally miss it because not only do I think the Kachina uniform is a better design, it's much more unique, and it represents the southwestern United States a lot better than this does, and I love the southwestern Native American-inspired design with the Kachina striping and the Hopi-inspired Coyotes logo you see here. But I will miss the brick red or Sedona red color. It was a color that was unique compared to other teams. But you know what? I do think that this design being retired, I'm not going to lie. Truth is, I think this would be a good design to keep as a third jersey for another season or two. But even if they don't, I'm not going to miss it. And I'm pretty sure this is retired. completely now, especially when they only wore it for 2 away games last season. And also, here's its white counterpart. This was their away jersey last season, obviously, because they had to have a white jersey. But seeing the Coyotes make this their full-time home jersey last season and bringing this design out in their 25th anniversary season, which this is a reverse retro of their first third jersey as the Arizona Coyotes, which when they first brought this design out in dark green back in the late 90s, I believe, they were still the Phoenix Coyotes, not the Arizona Coyotes. They started being the Arizona Coyotes instead of being called the Phoenix Coyotes in, I believe, the 2014-15 season. And I'm honestly hoping that now that they're going back to the Kachina uniforms full-time, I hope that they bring this reverse retro design back as a third jersey. In my opinion, it's far too good to only last for one lousy season, in my personal opinion. But I will say this. I think this and its white counterpart are the best uniforms the Coyotes have ever had since relocating from Winnipeg 25 years ago. But as I say that, though, truth is, after seeing the reverse retro jerseys, I gotta be honest, I would love to have seen the Coyotes create a new home and away design based off of these, but using purple as the main home jersey color, or even this dark green. I mean, up close, this design looks great, but one thing I've always had an issue with is that from a distance, when I pull my telephone back, the design, in my opinion, bleeds. The shoulder yoke is too dark. I find it bleeds into the jersey far too much when you pull it back. And, up close it's great. From a distance, when you're watching it during gameplay on the ice, when the players are wearing it during a game, it doesn't look as good. Up close, like you see here in this photo, it's a pretty decent look, but from a distance, I don't like it as much. I find that the jersey has too many dark colors on a dark jersey base, but hey, obviously that's a matter of opinion. Truth is, I like the white flip a lot better because you have the dark green and the Sedona red on a white jersey base. The colors stand out a lot better. But you know what? As I say that, even though I think it would have been nice to have even seen this green here be the main color and the black, this dark green and the black switch places where the jersey was green, but the shoulders were black, or to even see the Coyotes use a purple version of this or something based off of these using purple as the main color, I must say this will be a big upgrade over the Sedona red. Even though I will miss that unique shade of red, I would rather have the unique Southwestern Native American-based design over those any day. I mean, this is one of the most unique looks in NHL history. I mean, after seeing the Coyotes use it more and more for promotional material, using this as their logo on TV broadcasts, talking about how I think I remember the Coyotes saying that, oh, this is the best logo in NHL history, which personally I disagree with that, but obviously it's a matter of your personal taste. I knew it was not a matter of if, it was only a matter of when. It was just like when the Flames decided to wear their throwbacks when they were still their third jersey as their designated home uniform for the 2018-19 playoffs, knowing their 40th anniversary was coming up after that season, and then wearing the white flip of their red throwback thirds for the Heritage Classic against Winnipeg. I figured it was not a matter of if, it was only a matter of when for the Flames. And with everything I mentioned earlier, I figured it was going to be the same thing happening for the Coyotes here. And in both cases, I think it's a big improvement. Now, the Coyotes throwbacks I don't love as much as the Flames. But hey, I mean, I think we can all agree on one thing. These are very unique uniforms, and they are better than what they're replacing. I don't mind the Coyotes making this their full-time look and bringing the white version of it back. Now, truth is, I was actually kind of I was kind of wondering with how long the Coyotes were taking to make this announcement. I was actually starting to wonder that because of the recent announcement that this coming season will be their last season playing in their arena in Glendale, I was kind of thinking maybe did the Coyotes decide to scrap their uniform change because maybe they might have to leave Arizona altogether? But turns out, even if this coming season is their last in Arizona, they will be going out wearing their best uniforms in the franchise's history since leaving Winnipeg 25 years ago, in my opinion. So for you Coyotes fans out there, I am rooting for you guys. I do hope that considering how long the NHL has kept this team on life support, I do hope that they will be able to find a way to keep the Coyotes in Arizona long term. But yeah, it's a really terrible circumstance that the Coyotes are in. Personally, I hate to be that guy, but I think that the move to to Glendale, Arizona was the worst move the Coyotes have made since relocating from Winnipeg. I mean, when they played in downtown Phoenix, they actually had decent crowds from what I've been told. So hopefully the Coyotes can find a way to build an arena in Arizona and get themselves out of Glendale. But if they have to relocate, they have to relocate. I feel bad for you Coyotes fans. And once again, I wish you guys the best of luck. Also, notice, I did mention it earlier, but I'll mention it again. These uniforms are slightly modernized, not only because of the Adidas template, but also the Phoenix subscript above the word Coyotes here has been removed, which in my opinion was a good move, especially now that they're the Arizona Coyotes. And I'm hoping that they make this their third jersey at some point and bring it back. I think it's too good for them not to. And with the Kachina uniforms, I love the unique lettering for the players' font, the unique letter and number font. It actually looks really good on these. And I can't say it enough. I think these will be an improvement over the Sedona red and white jerseys that they have been wearing since the 2015-16 season. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this uniform's white counterpart coming back permanently as well. This has been the uniform change that I've been looking forward to the most this offseason. Besides the Oilers' rumored switch from their orange jersey being their home jersey, because I hear they are going to make their third jersey their home jersey for this coming season. But to me, this is the most exciting uniform change amongst the 31 existing teams. I'm not counting Seattle when I say that. Obviously, the Kraken are coming in starting next month. But this has been the uniform change that I've been most looking forward to this offseason, not going to lie. So, yes, the Coyotes are going full retro starting this 2021-22 season coming up in a few weeks from now. Personally, I feel this is an upgrade. Truth is, I think the white flip of this is better than the black when it comes to the on-ice uniforms. Up close, I like the black better. I'm not going to lie, but in terms of the uniform on the ice, I do think the white uniform is better than its black counterpart you see here. And the silver outlines on the players' names and their numbers and their captaincy patches, if they have them, the silver accenting will be replaced with brick red like it always has been, with the exception of this past season to celebrate the Coyotes' 25th anniversary season in Arizona. So, what do you think of the Coyotes' move here? These are not my favorite uniforms personally, but I must say, even though I would have done things differently and tried to create a new set of uniforms based off of these using purple or maybe even the dark green on the shoulders you see here, I must say, the switch to the Kachinas is a great move. It will be an upgrade, and I know a lot of people, especially Coyotes fans, are big fans of the original Kachina uniforms. They're some of the most unique uniforms in NHL history. There's no question about that. And to see the Coyotes going back to these and having one of the most unique styles in NHL history as their main uniforms again, I'm totally for it. I think this is going to be a big upgrade over what they've been wearing for the past 6 years. And you know what? I'm happy with this move, not going to lie. The only thing, though, is I do hope that they will eventually bring these back as a third jersey. I know the reverse retros were only meant to be used for one season, but I think they took such a mediocre design and they made it actually look really quite cool using the purple. I love the purple. I'd love to see the Coyotes keep that around and bring it back, but obviously that's a matter of personal opinion. But anyways, on that note, folks, feel free to leave your comments down below. I'd be curious to hear how you, the viewers, feel about the Coyotes going back to these full-time. I think it's a great move personally. These will be a big upgrade over what they've been wearing. I love that they're embracing their best look and the most unique look they've ever had in Arizona. And yeah, I mean, personally, even though, you know, I've said it earlier, I've said it a few times already, I would have done something different myself, but you know what? Or maybe even used purple as the jersey color for their main home uniform. I must say, I'm happy with this move. I'm happy with these coming back. They are so much better than what they've been wearing, even though I will miss the Sedona red. And I love the unique style. And as a kid, I used to think the Kachina striping looked like something out of the old Super Mario Brothers games from the old Game Boy and Super Nintendo consoles. But anyway, great design nonetheless. Feel free to leave your comments down below. And until my next video, you guys, take care. And of course, as always, bye for now.